All right, appreciate everybody being here. It's good to get back out. First day. Obviously, just in helmets. Trying to be able to transition the elements that we worked through the summer. Obviously in the summer workouts, everything's got to be on air. You don't get to go against someone, but even today, just being in helmets, at least being able to see different looks. Being able to get together. It was minimal working team, but it was good to at least see guys. You get an opportunity to go out there and communicate, work to execute. I thought that was something that was positive throughout the course of the day. Didn't see just a ton of mistakes from guys that were here in the spring. Guys that were able to transition. Even some of the older newcomers I thought did a good job. So from the guys that transferred in here this summer, some of the young guys showed up and did well. That was good to see them in their first practice. I do think that there's going to be a big step from today to tomorrow. Just when you have that first practice, obviously a lot of anxiety, a lot of excitement for what's ahead, and I thought there was a good workflow, but obviously a great deal of improvement that needs to be shown from day one to day two, and but it was good to see the guys out there, seeing them compete, and I thought there was some real positive plays even in the first day for what we want to see, especially from some of the older veterans.
First question will be Ira on your right.
You go in the afternoons the first few days just to kind of get acclimated to the heat, or what's the?
It's a little mix. I mean, we have some summer classes that are finishing up, and so some guys in the mornings, mid-morning, early afternoon that finishing up classes, and then it does allow us. We split our we do split our time in the morning. You'll walk through with returning guys. Young guys, to give them an opportunity to really get a little bit a few more reps, and not with such a big group. And so I think that's been productive in how we've been able to operate through that. And yes, it's great to be able to get out in the heat. We're outside majority of the practice today, and then I think it's good for the guys to acclimate to that. We trained outside, and pretty majority every available day in July. We tried to keep guys outside. We were going in the mornings, but being able to try to help them through that process. But got good heat today, and be able to continue to build us for as we progress.
Chris,
you spoke about the summer transferring group having a good day. Was there anybody in particular in that group that really stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. It was fun watching Jerry. just kind of seeing the way that he, his first action here. You feel his energy, feel his bounce. He had a nice, pass breakup today. Really good transition. I thought seeing Gavin, being out there. That was. You saw Chuck felt very comfortable, there, and the things we're asking him to do in the backfield. Like I said, it was a limited team, but just seeing guys go and work to be able to execute. Usman was good today, for a freshman coming in. He had a really nice run, there in the team portion. Of just seeing his vision and just acceleration was good, but. I thought it was a good day all in all for the young, for the newcomers. I think some of them it might have shocked them a little bit, just the expectation and pace of what we're trying to get accomplished. And like I said, we got to practice a lot faster, even tomorrow as we as we transition from day 1 to 2. But some of those new guys, just seeing the way we practice, probably jumped out a few of them there throughout today.
Nick.
Bryson Estes listed on the depth chart at offensive line and tight end. He was working with the tight ends today. Just what's the plan for him, as much as you can share, obviously?
Yeah, I think Bryson's a guy that he's been here for a good while. He's been a good program guy. Trying to find a role if he can be able to define that. Maybe as a guy that can go in there and bring that physical presence. In some of the multiple tight end sets. A guy that. Is working to make an impact here in his last year, and so definitely a lot of respect for the work that he's pouring into it, and looking forward to seeing when we get pads and, you know, what he can do.
Brendan?
With Amari Williams, the plan has been offense, defense. Like, will it be a thing where one day it's exclusively one side of the ball, first name, or will he kind of mix and match in between, you know, throughout the?
You know, we got a very specific plan for him and how it will roll. And I think it, you know, he will be getting work on both sides of the ball throughout. You know, throughout practices, there will be days where there might be a more primary you know, emphasis, you know, for him. But you know, we want to make sure that we're putting him in the best position to you know, showcase all that he can do and then continue to grow in his technique fundamentals. I thought we did a good job with him in the summer with the work we were able to get with him doing both. And you know, obviously last spring was a primary focus with him defensively, and I think it's, you know, I think we got a great plan for how we'll be able to utilize and use his talents and, you know, try to put him in a position to be able to impact this football team.
Yeah.
Musa Makai, obviously working with the receivers as well as Jalen Lucas. Just what did you make of those guys and what kind of role can they carve out for themselves in that group?
Those two guys, you know, really excited about, you know, the potential that they have. Bless you. I mean, they're really, you know, really talented young men, and just with their versatility. But Makai, you know, that's kind of been our focus, that you know, try to get him, you know, established. Obviously, had a great track season, you know, there, you know, last spring, so we're limited on the days that that he could get out there. You know, was hampered a little bit with an injury, you know, that you know, kind of cost him, the opportunity there at nationals. But it's good getting him back out, and you know, really these last couple of weeks have been, you know, his transition, getting even more and more work. And you know, I thought he did some good things with the opportunities today. And you know, I think we got a really talented young group that you know, could make an impact in a variety of ways. So it's just seeing them go out there and be able to execute that, play fast, and you know, see some real progression as we move forward.
We'll come back over here to Ira.
JP and Coach White were saying yesterday that just how much competition there is at linebacker. What do you think? What will you guys be looking for during camp to see? Is it just making big plays?
I mean, it's, you know, production, consistency. You know, it's one of those things, a linebacker, that you know, you've got to be a natural playmaker, but you also got to be able to be a guy that you know, when you're on the field, that the guys around you are better because of the job that you do. And you know, obviously in this defense, there are the different, you know, tasks that we can ask guys to do, the different roles that they can serve, and you know, whether it's, you know, 3 guys in, whether it's, you know, 2 guys, however that is presented. You know, I want to see guys that, you know, they get on that field and you know, they find the ball and obviously you know, have a chance to go, you know, impact the game and make, you know, 10 other guys around them better, just because of the style of their play. And you know, that's probably a position I'm as excited as any about because of the competition. And we've got guys that have played a lot of football, some guys that are really, you know, pushing and emerging to go, you know, take a big step in their career. So you know, I think that's going to be a fun battle throughout the fall camp to see who emerges as the you know, the guys that are going to be in that group, and you know, who can separate themselves to define their role as, you know, what they all desire to be. But you know, I do feel that we should be able to play you know, with relentless effort, with, you know, an absolute mindset, you know, at that position, because we do have quality depth, and guys I think all have, you know, great playmaking ability.
All right, we'll go to Peter, second row in front of you.
Coach, what's thoughts about having the players in playing that new practice field for a little bit?
Excuse me?
Thoughts about having the players playing in that new practice field for a little bit?
Just, yeah, no, it's great being able to have the you know, back to full space and you know, opportunity to have the 2 fields outside. You know, I thought you know, we're still, you know, there's still finishing touches that we're all working through, but you know, it was great to be outside together as a team. I mean, really, you look at it last, it's been almost the last 2 years, we've had some major, you know, adjustments we've had to make just in our practice, in the way that we practice and where we practice, and for that to be, you know, set and ready to go. I mean, I appreciate all the work that the crews did to be prepared for today. I know it's been a lot. We got a great team that's putting that together, and you know, I thought it served well today.
Brendan?
Earlier in the talk with Daryl being more vocal, taking on that leadership role. Now that you've seen him now in practice setting, I guess, has that continued?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a daily. I mean, that has to be a daily, approach, and he's got to make a daily impact, and that consistency is what's critical. And so, I thought that today there were some good things I saw. I mean, I saw his hustle on a few plays that really showed out, with relentless effort, and those are the things that when you do speak, when you have that type of video to back it up, that's something that's going to carry, it's going to carry all the weight. And there's going to be plenty of opportunities for guys to challenge each other. But right now, as we're starting off, I want to see them challenging themselves, right? Establish that expectation that their teammates can see from them, and then obviously when the opportunity presents itself, it's time to push everybody to that next level of what we can do.
Go to Corey on your right.
Did you guys do one-on-one drills with wide receiver and DBs today, like you've done in the past? And if so, were there a couple on either side of the ball that stood out?
We did, and there was some really good plays. I mean, I thought Deuce Robinson had some nice plays today, and what he was able to do. I thought there was some good plays defensively, a couple pass breakups, that you saw guys transitioning, trying to, this first day out, just being in spiders, you try to be, very, aware of just, you're limiting physicality. I don't want to see feet transition. So, but I thought it was a good day. I thought there was some real positive plays that were made, and seeing guys just going out there and getting an opportunity to compete.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. You have a great night.
Thank you. You too.